Assalamu alaikum, wonderful viewers. Welcome back to another episode of the Political Hour Show here on Eco TV International, the People's Choice, where we invite youths, politicians, and women to discuss about the current issues in our country here. And today, our esteemed guest is the Councillor of Kersering. He will introduce himself shortly, but before that, you can kindly follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Sponsors are also invited. You can call on the numbers on the screen to sponsor this program. I am your host, Rohiyatu Ture. Assalamu alaikum, Councillor.
Alaikum salam, Rohi.
How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Yeah.
I guess you've already eaten your breakfast.
I did.
That's why you are feeling happy.
Indeed.
Okay, you can please greet the audience.
Yeah, thank you very much, wonderful viewers. My name is Boubacar Jaite. I'm the ward councillor for Bijilo. Bijilo ward comprises of 3 communities. That is Bijilo as a community, Sankeba Slejob, and Kersering. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Buba. It's an honor inviting you here today. Yeah. So we're going to talk about different things today with regards to development of your ward.
Yeah.
So the first thing we are going to talk about today is the infrastructure.
Yeah.
So the first question is about the waste management.
Yeah.
With the growing population, about 1,500, what steps is the council taking to improve the waste collection schedule and address sanitation?
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a very wonderful question, and I think it's one of the biggest problems that I am facing at my ward.
Okay.
And waste management is a problem for Bijilo Ward, and most importantly for Brikama Area Council.
Okay.
And over the past years, since we assumed office in 2023, we have done our assessment to see how best we will able to mitigate some of these problems that we are facing with. Along the line, Brikama Area Councils went into partnership with some private waste collection trucks companies, and that was not sustainable for a certain period of time. It was better because they were coming to do household collections within the communities, most especially within the Combo Node. And at some points, councils feel like, these are some of the things that they should be able to have their own trucks, because that partnerships, sometimes their vehicles will run down, sometimes, and they will not be able to cover, most of the areas that they're supposed to cover. And as a result, Birkama Area Council was able to procure a lot of vehicles, about 5 or 6 of vehicles that are doing household collections within the Combo Node as we are speaking. So for the routine collections, where on Mondays they will be at my ward, specifically Bijilo, and on Tuesdays they will be at Sankeba Slejob, which is the bigger community, and the following Monday they will be in Kersering as well. So that is the routine collections that we are doing in waste management. But notwithstanding, we also understand that in public spaces like the market, Brikama Area Councils, we have our open door trucks that will be coming to do monthly waste collections from the market. And as we are speaking, tomorrow they will be at the Sankeba market to collect the waste that is already there. But that is also a big challenge, because council has hired or procured some sketch bins, open sketch bins that will be stations at public spaces. And what we are doing now, councils, we are working with our VDCs and the Ward Development Committee. So we are trying to have an area within the community where community members will come and pay and dump their waste. And these areas, when the waste is about to be hectic there, then the communication will be done for the area councils to come with its open door trucks and these shovels to clear the area. So in that way, the household collections will be more effective, because now people have a designated area where they are going to dump their waste. And when that waste is also dumped there, it is cleared to mainly transported at the Tambana Waste Dumping Management Center. So that is one of the ways that we are mitigating, but this is still not enough. As time goes on, maybe next year or so, council is also planning to buy more waste trucks, and specifically for the Sanementering area, because this area is an area where there's a lot of chunk of waste that is really affecting the neighborhoods or the community peoples. And we know that we are collecting, but it's still not enough. So council is still aware of that fact, and we are also working to make sure that some of these things are mitigated in the near future. Yeah.
Okay, well, that is very good. So, do people normally pay when the collectors come to collect their waste?
Yes. Normally, what we do is the 50 kilogram of 50 kilogram of rice bag
Yeah.
is $20.
Okay.
So when you have these trash bins, you pay $40. So it's more reasonable than the private collectors. For example, at my house or my compound, I used to pay $200 for a trash bin to be collected when the private collectors comes. So that is very, very expensive and at an exorbitant height.
Yeah.
So council comes, to the reason why we are levying these charges is also, remember, these vehicles need to be fueled and they need to be maintenance as well. So that is why council pays it at that lower price to collect the waste from the people's household. Yeah.
Well, I think that is very good because people will pay less because, as you said, paying 200 now you are paying $20 for a bag of rice, $40 for the trash bin. Trash bin. Now, compared to 200, this one is way more cheaper. And
exactly.
I think you are doing a wonderful job. May Allah make it easy for you and your whole team.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, and also, about the market, are there any projects to upgrade or construct new local markets to support small businesses?
Yeah, of course. If you look at Bijilo ward, we have 3 communities, and as we are speaking, there are 2 infrastructural development that has taken place, and these are all market sets. One for Kirsering and the other for Sankewa. The Sankewa is completed and unused, and for Kirsering, probably in the next 2 months, that also will be done. So basically, market expansion is something that is very important for me because these are areas where people go and we buy stuff that we cook in our various compounds or in our various families. So that place need to be one sanitations of that, or to be hygiene is very important. The sanitary aspect of it is very, very important. 2, the expansion of the markets through building market sets within these local markets is also very important. And it enables the vendors to be in a conducive area where they will be able to do the sales. And also it makes the market more organizable, and the Ward Development Committee is definitely working very hard to make sure that most of these markets are accessible. Because you went to these markets, sometimes accessibility is a problem, and it's very dangerous. If at all there is a damage that is happening in the market, for example, let's say a fire outbreak, it is always hard for you to prevent the loss of a lot of products. The reason is because the markets are very congested and you hardly have passages to find ways to pass. So these are some of the things that we are regularizing in our ward to make sure that accessibility is very key, and the establishment of this market sales is also very good to enable the free flow of business within the market. Yeah, so that on the aspect of that, we are doing a market expansion in Sankewa and in Kirsering as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but before I go further, I just want to clarify something. At the beginning, with the growing population, I mentioned that, I don't know, 11,500. I wanted to say 11,500, but then I made a mistake there. So just to make it clear, it is 11,500 with the growing population. So before they see Sekunankas will come for me.
That is fine.
Yeah. So, and also, we know that this is a huge load of work for you and your entire team. So what are some of the challenges that you faced in your ward?
Well, community work is not easy. As ward councillors, we are directly engaged, or we are directly with the people. And you wake up, people are at your door, and they need help, they need their problems to be solved. So basically, it's never an easy job, it's always challenging.
Definitely.
One of the things that, for me, I'm lucky to have is I have a very good structural ward development committee that is very, very diverse. For example, I am a UDP elected ward councillor. But again, if you come to my ward development, the treasurer of my ward development committee is a strong NPP supporter. And when you come to the Secretary General of my ward development committee is a PPP supporter.
Okay.
Do you understand? So it's very diverse. And we have young people that doesn't affiliate to any political party that are in my ward development committee. So basically that makes my job a bit more easy. And it's challenging though, because for example, I could remember when we, in 2023 or 2024, when the first disbursement of $500,000 is come. That was a surprise, and it was something that was very, very hard at the decision-making table. Because remember, all these 3 communities have representatives at the ward development, and they all have their priority needs. So, and the money is 500,000. So everybody was saying we should divide this money into the middle, 200 to this community, the other 200 to that community. Others were saying no, we should invest in a development that is tangible. So you have lot of debate around it. But at the end of the day, the committee said, and we have a consensus on what to do with it. And basically, I told them, remember, annually we will be receiving this money. So basically, do not be in a panic that if you receive it, if you have it this time, you are not going to have it the subsequent year. And basically, the subsequent year was even more. We have 1 million, and this year, we will also receive in 1 million as well.
Okay.
So basically, development is at the doorstep. As we are speaking, we building or rehabilitating the Bijilo Health Center and its mortuary, and that is almost done. Probably in the next 2 weeks, that project will be handed over to the ward. Or to the community. So basically, these are some of the things that we are impacting the lives. And not only that, we have our scholarship packages that a lot of the young people, especially the vulnerable ones, are benefiting within the wards. In each of these communities, we have students that we are sponsoring, from the Brikama area councils, scholarship packages. So there's a lot that are going, and there are a lot of things that also we support to families, indirectly. And those are not things that, for me personally, I don't share them, and those are not things that because those are vulnerable situations and vulnerable needs. And basically, we make sure that we do that as elected representatives, to also mitigate or also to solve people's problems without coming to the public, to share their information. Yeah.
Well, from today, I'm also going to pack my baggages and move on to Kerseri. Definitely.
You have to do that.
I love the fact that your community members, your committee, they comprise of different people from different political backgrounds. This is what we know in Gambia. We all have to be involved in the development of the Gambia, regardless of your political background, your tribe. No one should be discriminated.
That's right.
Yeah, so I think that is very good. You should keep it up with your people. That is what will bring development to your community and the Gambia at large. So with regards to your people there, do you have any problem with anyone internally with regards to decision making?
Basically, no, because remember, we are public servants. We serve for the public. It's never personal.
Okay.
So any argument that I have with everybody regarding the exercise or the execution of my works, that is purely professional. Okay. It demands, it is the work and that demands it. So people sometimes will go against the decisions that you wanted to do, and you have to accept that as the leader, because you don't expect everyone to align with what you think. That's basically, in fact, for me, I like those kind of challenges. I like people to challenge me based on facts and issues. So for me, I'm never bothered or worried about that. It does happen, especially when it comes to the waste management issues. Sometimes you will have some politicians who will go to the markets, they just snap something and just send it to the internet, and they say the councillor is not doing anything. But the reality is, and the facts is, we are trying to make sure that we solve those problems. Yes, there are challenges, and we could have done better, I admit. But also, governance is a process. Governance is a process that you need to accept the realities that it just cannot be in a one go. Remember, this is my first time being a young person occupying that kind of a positions. So basically, it takes a lot of times to learn along the way. And by the way, God willing, the future is very bright, and hopefully, Bijilo Water are very proud with the little development that we are bringing.
I'm coming there, inshallah. I hope I have a place there. Okay, now we'll be moving on to the finance and accountability. This one involves money. It's soon you will see this Dabo Kunang and by Kunangkas Bokulendo because they love money too much.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So about the projects, can you provide a specific breakdown of the Ward Development Fund allocated to Kersering last year and the status of those projects?
Yeah, just as I said, last year's projects are all completed. In 2 weeks, Bijilo will be done. Sangaba is already done. So the last year 1 million was divided between these two communities. The first 500,000 was for Kerseri. So this year, the project what we are intended to do is also to do youth empowerment and women empowerment.
Okay.
That's basically,
I'm coming.
yes. So basically, this year's World Development Fund will definitely, touch the youths and the women. Basically, and when we say touch the women, we wanted to empower the women at the gardens, building some cold storage facilities and also helping them, with a store where they will be keeping their tools and also upgrade their toilets within the gardens as well, and also try to capacitize them, hire professionals or experts, where they will be trained on compost, manure, and a lot of things as well. So when we're talking about youth empowerment, one of the things that we intended to do, we would like to give support to the Nawetan teams as well, because we know that they do struggles and they are very, very crucial and key part of my campaign. So basically, we would like to support, most of the Nawetan teams within the Bijilo ward as well, and also provide some materials to give them, to encourage them also, because we know that sports is a game where you can also change an entire generations. So we will be keeping motivating them, keeping to strengthen them, and also keeping, in touch with them at all times. So basically, these years will definitely touch on that, and also some little developments within the markets of expansion as well. We will also be more modernizing the waste management places in Sanchaba and probably in Kersering as well. So these are all things that we intended to do. You mentioned about the financial aspect of it is very important, because when people receive money, they need to know how these monies are spent. So basically, for us, Brikama Council, we are very much lucky. The stages that you need to pass before you, in fact, receive your next allocations, we have what we call the planning department and the Brikama Area Council. Okay. So you need to certify the planning department certificates, one, because the planning department will come to the projects, inspect to see whether the materials you are using in these projects are the right materials. That is one, they need to satisfy that committee. Secondly, we also have what we call the internal audit unit. The internal audit unit will also go around these projects to also satisfy, and you need to provide your bank statements, your receipts, the awards of contracts, documents, all to the internal documents. So it need to be vetted. If the internal audit is okay with the projects, that is the time that you are going to receive your next money. Okay. That is the next allocations. But if you don't met these things, your money will still be there, but pending, when you done all the necessaries before you are allocated with your next money. And on our side, for example, I told you, my secretary is PBB. My treasurer is NBB. Yeah. These are the people that will withdraw the monies from our accounts. I'm a signatory, I just sign checks, I don't even see money. Okay. So when projects comes, what we do, we allocate these projects to contractors. The contractors will come, give us their bill of quantity, and we sign a contract with them. And these things will be debated among ourselves within the World Development Committee that comprises of all these 3 villages. So within our mix, we also have our project managers that will be doing the project science, and also will be in liaison with the contractors at all times to make sure that the work is done and delivered on time. So basically, these are all accountability mechanisms that are in place before you even receive your next money. Okay. Yeah. So the process is very simple but very, very exhaustive as well. Yeah.
I'm impressed, definitely. Yeah. I love people like you that prioritize the needs of their people before themselves. This you are the kind of people that Gambia needs, definitely. Yeah. And inshallah, it will happen. And so, more like the tourists, we are the best. Of course, I know you know something about them. So we are great.
I have a friend of a Ture Kunanga, but that guy is something else.
Okay. And also about the residents, how can they assess the council's budget and expenditure reports to track public spending?
Yeah, basically, it is through their representatives, and also they are free to attend council general council sittings as well. Okay. For example, remember I told you the World Development Committee is comprised of communities that you represent, and when the councils have its budgets, they will table, the ward council will table this budget before its ward development committee. So the ward development committee will also have its stake on the budget of the council. And these ward development committee members are representatives of the community. So the communities are representatives. But individual community members also are also advised to follow council proceedings. If, for example, council should at least have a general council sitting once every month. So when these things are there, councils will deliberate on their budget.
Okay.
And you are free to go and sit and listen to how these deliberations are done, and also how your representative is contributing to that budget. So it's very important. I encourage people to come to our General Council sittings to know how we deliberate things before we arrive to decisions. So that is also very, very important. But also there are notices that are out, and people will ask, and people will have their take on the budgets. And some of these concerns are also integrated to the budget. Yeah, because council also have a team of professionals that will sit over these budgets, and they will table it before the general councils, and the ward council also will table it before their ward development committees. So the budgets are very representative as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very good. Yeah. And how is the council working to broaden its revenue base beyond central government grants to fund local projects?
Well, that's a challenge, but I think Brickamere councils, if you look at from where we came from and where we are very much proud of our achievement.
Okay.
We are not complacent, but we are very much proud of our achievements. This is a council where we found annually we will have almost 64 million. But when we came last year, we managed to have almost over 200 million last year. So that is a significant chunk of money that we have, from 64 to over 200 million. So that is a whole lot of money. Yeah. It doesn't happen by rocket science, and it happens because of we have a committed leader, and the councillors are very much committed through what we want to bring back to our people. So that is very, very important. And I remember, during our time, our first year, there were a lot of fights within the Brigade councils. At some points, we have to be arrested and taken to anti-crime.
Seriously?
So, yeah. All these things happens. So we have to be there for the whole day. But the representatives, the ward councillors, never relented, because we know what we wanted, and we know the tax behind us. Remember, communities will be coming to you. The controller is not doing anything here.
Yeah.
So these are things, and if we don't have the resources. So we make sure that we definitely boost our revenue through appointing or hiring people that will be doing assessments. Remember, before we came, it is only the collector that will tell you. For example, the collector can tell you the entire case hearing we only have 50 subs. When naturally, me as a ward councillor, I know we have over 100 subs in Kersering. So you are at the mercy of the collector. If you collect 20 subs, that is what you will have. But when councillors comes, we hire these assessment teams, and they will go around, hire all the businesses within Kersering, and they will tell you these are the businesses within Kersering, and they value it, and these are when they assess it, these are the money they should bring.
Yeah.
So now the collector just cannot go and just bring any amount he feels like that, because you already know this amount of money is already within my ward.
Yeah.
So basically, those are one of the ways that we use, to boost our revenue. And also the internal mechanism, we pass thresholds, that gives the authority or the powers to the chairman to approve any spending that is doing within the councils. Previously, you are within the mercy of the director of finance and the chief executive officer, that is the CEO. So you as elected representatives, you don't even know what is in your account. You don't even know, how your monies are spent. But for me, I can tell you at the end of every month how much is in the accounts of Brikama area councils, because that is part of the things that we fight. Every general councils, the chairman should report the balance is in our accounts, and we should know. And that is happening every month. So each representative, each councillor can tell you how many balance is in your account as we are speaking. So that is very, very important. Because remember, we are only accountable to our electorates. So there is nothing that we should hide, or there is nothing that we should fear. That is for us at Brigade councils, we are very much free in what we do. Okay. Because all that we do is based on transparency and accountability. Just our chairman always say, do not steal and do not lie.
Don't steal, don't lie, job break.
So the issue is to job break. And that is a mantra that we definitely believe in. It's not just a wording, it's a saying. Remember, when we were coming, we were at a deficit of over 10 million. Within 6 months, we cleared the 10 million. Do you understand? Of debt that we found at the Brikama councils. And when on the next year with a surplus. So that is very abnormal. And also, during our time, before we came, when the year is at the middle of the year, for example, by this time, June, that's what they usually call the limping year. So, in fact, they will be struggling to pay the salaries of the staffs that are working there. They will tell you, time being halis jena si filmi. Do you understand? And when we came, chairman just said, halis nakala wara muna je si filmi. And that issue of limping year is what they believe by then that is happening. So everybody believes it. When it is 6 months, when it is June, they know that now, before you pay salary, sometimes it can go on the 10th, on the 15th of the following month. And when we came, sometimes they will even take loans to pay these salaries. And when we came, we make sure that all those things are a thing of a past. Now you receive your salaries when it is 21st, 22nd, before the end of the month, latest. If sometimes we have challenges, the first of the month you will have your salary. So basically, these are all improvements that are done internally, but people do not know. But annually, we also increase the salaries of our staffs at the Ibrikam Area Council. Every budget, our salaries of staffs will be increased. Yeah.
This is what happens when you have a good leader. Yeah. Don't steal, don't lie, job break. Yeah. That is why you people also are very competent and committed to what you do.
Definitely.
So keep it up, inshallah, everything will be fine.
Thank you.
But the time is running against us.
I know.
I'm loving the conversation, but time is running against us. So, but inshallah, I will have you again. Will you run away?
No. It's okay. Anytime.
Yeah, for today, the last question will be, given the rapid urbanization, are there plans to upgrade the health centers or facilities to support outreach services?
Very well. And the World Development Committee is planning to even partner with the local health organizations that is within the area. And we are discussing to see how best we can collaborate, to organize, monthly, health exercises, on screening and other things. We are definitely working that on the infrastructure aspect of it. We just done with the Bijilo Health Center. Now people do not have to struggle to go up to Sukuta for delivery and other things. The next door is Bijilo. The maternity ward is there, and the outpatient ward is also there. So now those are things that in collaboration with the Bijilo VDC will definitely help the livelihood of members or community members within the Bijilo ward. And also we will be also upgrading the market the health post of Kirsering maybe next year, to make sure that it is up to standard, to also support the local peoples within Kirsering. And remember, the ward has a lot of private hospitals, so we also wanted the vulnerable people, the peoples with less income, also to also benefit, the exercise of their rights when it's come to this local health post within the ward. So we are definitely working towards that. It's challenging, but we're definitely trying. Yeah.
Yes, you can give your final word to the masses before we leave.
Yeah. I just want to thank you, for hosting me today, and your entire team, from the cameramen and the entire staff of Eco TV. And I just want to thank the people of Bijilo Ward for entrusting me with the responsibility to lead them for the next 4 years. Basically, just as I always say, we are always at the mercy of the people, always at the services of the people. And we are hearing your cries, and we are hearing your challenges, and we feel it as well, because we are also vulnerable people. So we are feeling it, and we are in this together, and we are very much hopeful that challenges will come, but we will definitely conquer those challenges. And what we need is their support, to be on our doors all the times, to give us the moral support, and also to encourage and advise us at all times. So basically, Bijilo Ward is very proud to have a competent team that is leading them, and we know that there are a lot of things that have not gone right, but we also proud that there are a lot of achievements that we have made during these past 3 years. And hopefully, before the end of our first term, we will be able to stand and say, we have done this in Bijilo, we have done this in Kesering, and we have done this in Sankeba. So that is one thing, that is one legacy that I am proud that I am going to leave. Whether I'm coming for a second term or not, that is for the future to decide. Yeah. But I am definitely working to make sure that before my first terms end, each of these communities have their fair share of the development. Yeah.
Much respect to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now your name is not Jaite. Your name is Ture. Honorable Councillor Buba Ture. Ture mani mor ninkala karanda mankar more.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
and thank you for honoring this invitation. Yeah. And I wish to have you again, inshallah, on our platform here on Eco TV International, the People's Choice. Well, viewers, this is what we have for you today. Thank you very much. Until next time, inshallah.